That's our board! That's telling you! What the is wrong with you? How the do you stupid name?
You just called him a liar, saying you don't have a black wife and black children. You called him a liar?
I want to see a picture to believe that. Take off your uniform. Are you afraid of police? Just because I'm white and I haven't experienced racism myself doesn't mean I can't fight for justice. They're a part of the system. They're a part of the problem. Just because they're black doesn't mean they're not a part of the problem.
So that captures some of the tension that we've seen playing across America over the recent weeks. My next guest argues that white wokeness is a new factor in our national life, writing this, quote, broad anti-police sentiment has already caused cops to become less proactive in high-crime neighborhoods, with the predictable result that shootings have spiked around the country. Whites are engaging in an activism motivated by a misperception about black life that does not comport with reality for most blacks. With their views of blacks as wounded and perpetually oppressed, woke whites would do more good by doing nothing, he writes. Charles Love, Assistant Executive Director of Seeking Educational Excellence and author of We Want Equality, How the Fight for Equality Gave Way to Preference, joins me now. Charles, thank you so much for being here. What prompted you to write this piece, which is getting a lot of attention?
Well, thanks for having me. I thought it was important because you played some clips, we saw what was going on. Yeah. And I like to assume positive intent. So I would assume that people really do care. But I hear very little on solutions. And I saw that this movement, as it went along and the days progressed, it became more and more white each day. And it's not that that woman who was screaming, saying that just because we haven't experienced racism doesn't mean that we don't care. We care about justice. Totally true. But the problem is what you base your beliefs on and what you think black life is like will dictate what you think the solutions are and which direction you go in. And as I asked friends and read social media and listened to whites, I found that a large percentage of them believed that blacks were all victims, all uneducated, and all criminals. And if you believe that, then you're going to change, well, this is how they need to be policed. This is how they need to be educated, which is fine if you don't have that experience, but they don't go talk to blacks. And then they decided they're going to speak for us anyway. So that was the reason why I wrote the piece, was to say that your wokeness is not going to, when Julianne Moore, for instance, I heard the Take Responsibility video, said that blacks are being slaughtered in the streets and that they're being slaughtered in their homes. We knew what they meant. We knew they're talking about Breonna Taylor. And no matter what you think about that, and that was a travesty, and you think it's wrong, that's one person. You can't take 42 million people and say they're all, weak and victims because of that. And I think that there's solutions and the things that the reforms could be happening and things of that nature, but you have to have the right premise.
Here's the Julianne Moore and others video that you just mentioned. Let's play that.
I take responsibility. Black people are being slaughtered in the streets, killed in their own homes. These are our brothers and sisters.
I will no longer allow racist, hurtful words, jokes, stereotypes, no matter how big or small, to be uttered in my presence.
You write about how, you think that people are sort of approaching black people as sort of like one group that's all sort of having the same experience. And as you point out, that if that's the way it's approached and you're not looking at individuals and different experiences and education issues and all of the other parts that create difficult circumstances for blacks and lots of other Americans, that it's a disservice to sort of just kind of pat yourself on the back with what some might see as sort of, sanctimonious virtue signaling.
Right, and it also doesn't make sense. So what you get is these weak, empty gestures like, well, we're going to give Nike, we're going to give all of our employees a paid holiday. Well, most of your employees are white, so you're not affecting black people. And then in 3 years, it's going to turn into Cinco de Mayo, which is just going to be a drinking holiday that Mexicans don't even celebrate. What you need to do is focus on solutions. That's fine. And plenty in the black community need help. And things are disproportionate, but it's still a small number. Most people don't realize it's somewhere around 2% of blacks actually commit crimes or in the system. So instead of people on either political side arguing about, well, it's this percent or that percent, I would like to replace Black Lives Matter with we are the 98%.
Charles Love, thank you very much, sir.